want our thoughts on NBA free agent deals, including LeBron James going to
LeBron with an A.
And our impressions of the Knicks NBA draft pick Kevin Knox and where this franchise is going to go forward. And DeMarcus Cousins going to the Warriors. Get your head in the game. Nothing but that b-ball talk. Welcome to another episode of Nothing But That B-Ball Talk podcast. Only this time we do it in audio and video. You can catch this episode of my YouTube channel, Rafiq Louison. And Rafiq Louison is the name so far. This is Marlon Louison.
What up?
We out here. And this is my cousin, Knox.
Just one name.
Yeah.
Like Nene, Pele,
Yeah.
Frank.
Yeah. Not the Kevin Knox you used to see, which we will talk about in another episode, or possibly this episode, but in another episode. We are talking about straight basketball topics, some college and pros, recap stats, you name it. This time, we talking about the free agent deals.
That's right.
And what better way to start out the free agent topic than LeBron James?
LeBron
Going to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Woo.
After he shocked so many people, well, not you in particular, well, not me in particular, but you.
Yeah, I did not see that coming. Beautiful thing.
Exactly.
That's a beautiful thing for the league.
He's going to Los Angeles Lakers, a big market city. He's going to attract a lot of fans to Los Angeles.
Well, I mean, they got enough fans. I don't think he's attracting fans. I think what he does is he gets to write a different chapter to his legacy, and he gets a different opportunity compared to where he's been before. I think before coming to LA, it was about winning championships. I think being in LA, it's about solidifying himself after basketball. You know, he gets to be around Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's had a great post-basketball career, and I think he will learn a lot. I shouldn't say learn, because he's a smart guy himself, but he'll pick up a lot, absorb a lot from being around Magic Johnson on how to finish off his career.
And Magic Johnson said that if a superstar player did not go to Los Angeles within 2 years, he was going to leave the team.
Well, I think he always knew LeBron was coming.
He always knew LeBron was coming. Oh, come on, man.
I think so. I think we as fans look at the sport a lot differently than the people who are in it, and I think he always knew LeBron was coming. I think LeBron always knew he was going to the Lakers. Not always, but I think he had a good thought in his mind that he was going to go there.
They've been pushing for LeBron James to go to Los Angeles Lakers since 2014 after his failure with the Miami Heat. Sorry about that. I got to bring that up. I mean, he did have a much successful career with the Miami Heat than he had in his 2 stints with the Cavaliers put together.
Right.
He only got 1 championship in 4 finals appearances playing for the Cleveland Cavaliers.
But it was one immaculate championship,
The best championship. I mean, that Cavs championship goes to prove that all winning is not the same.
Right.
Like, they were down 3-1 against a team that won 73 games. So that championship's a lot different. But, you know, staying on topic of LeBron going to the Lakers, I think it's a good look for the NBA. I think, you know, the Lakers were kind of floundering a bit. I think the whole Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball thing kind of brought a circus to the Lakers that they kind of didn't want. I don't think they want that kind of attention that they were getting. LeBron kind of rights that ship. You got to think to yourself, man, a guy like Kyle Kuzma, you got LeBron getting you the ball. They also signed Rondo. Rondo's getting you the ball. If Lonzo stick around, Lonzo's getting you the ball. It's a good look. It's a good look.
And don't forget Lance Stevenson and JaVale McGee.
Yeah.
I don't know about those guys.
What do you mean you don't know Lance Stevenson and LeBron James teaming up? You don't know about them teaming up?
It's like something from an old school cartoon. Like villains and heroes.
Who wouldn't want to see that combo? Like,
Who wanted to see that combo?
Put Lance Stevenson in the starting lineup, and you'll see how him and LeBron James connect.
I think if you want to lose a lot of basketball games, you should put Lance Stevenson in the starting lineup.
Really?
It's been proven.
Seriously?
It's been proven.
It has.
Lance Stevenson is not a quality starter. What he is, though, is a good energy guy, so I think he should definitely come off the bench and help them. I don't think ultimately they're all professionals, so whatever differences they had before goes out the window, and they focus on winning.
And I also say this too, not to get too political, but I definitely think in terms of LeBron and his social justice outreach and the scope, the potential for it is greater being alongside Magic Johnson and possibly, Dan Gilbert and what he had going on.
Yeah, well, we got to tell the story the way it is. You know, he left Cleveland largely because his differences with the current president, Donald Trump, and Dan Gilbert's association with President Donald Trump. So he definitely want to be a part of that.
And not to mention, there's no way they're going to win another championship without Kyrie Irving. And that's been proven in this year's NBA Finals. But LeBron had a very good 4-year stint with the Cavaliers in
LeBron's
2010.
had a really good career. He's been to the finals, 8 straight years. So.
Looking like he's only getting better.
9 overall.
2 different franchises.
That's more NBA Finals appearance than every other player active in this era.
That's crazy.
Music to my ears.
Crazy.
Music to my ears.
People sleep on that.
They always sleep on it.
And if LeBron gets the Lakers to the NBA Finals, despite playing in the same conference with the Houston Rockets, with James Harden, and the Golden State Warriors, big starting five, is because it's LeBron James.
And that's what he does. But speaking of Golden State, they
picked up DeMarcus Cousins. This season's just gonna prove my point that the NBA is the most predictable basketball league in all of sports. Not just in basketball, but in all of sports.
Why do you say predictable?
Everybody knows the Warriors are the clear favorites to win a championship after picking up DeMarcus Cousins. You got a crazy starting five with him, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Kevin Durant. The guy who's basically the reason why the Warriors won their championships post their loss in 2016.
Well, I mean, the Golden State's proven they can win without Kevin Durant, so I wouldn't agree with that. I guess it creates, I don't want to say a predictable story. It creates a highly likely scenario where Golden State does win. But ultimately, not to sound cliche, but you got to play the games. I mean, there's no 100% guarantee they win.
Right.
Yeah, that has
opportunity on the table. You might as well take it.
Yeah, that's been proven because the Warriors wouldn't be the first team to try and win a championship with a starting five where every single player in that starting five has made to at least one All-Star game. Or, matter of fact, a bunch of All-Star games. Look at the Lakers in 2012. They tried that. They got knocked out in the first round.
Right.
Look at the Brooklyn Nets. They tried that. Knocked out in the second round. Right now, the Golden State Warriors have a chance to do that. But at least this time, well, they wouldn't be the first team to do it with championships prior to this starting five. And people forget the fact that DeMarcus Cousins has never played in the NBA playoffs.
Never has.
And he's still injured. And he's still suffering from that season-ending injury.
Which is a major injury at that. Which leads me to why I question this move. So I think if you're Golden State, it's a brilliant move. If you got a chance to get one of the best players in the sport, you absolutely do it. Shout out to them. You know, it seems like every offseason they go out there and get one of the best players available that other teams couldn't get. But if you're DeMarcus Cousins and you're the people around DeMarcus Cousins, you kind of question this. You're 27 years old, you're in the prime of your career, and you're walking away from guaranteed $1 million contracts to sign a 1-year, $5 million contract. That's not a very good business decision. I know some people are saying, well, you got a chance to win a championship, you can't pass up on that. The truth is, you can kind of piggyback on winning a championship at any point in your career. You don't have a full window to make the most money that you can. And ultimately, we as sports fans would like not to say it, but it's the truth. You're here to make as much money as possible. And he walked away from a lot of money. And it seems like he's doing it kind of just in spite. It seemed, based on reports, and NBA reports tend to be kind of falsified a lot, but it seems that he took offense to the fact that teams weren't reaching out to him sooner for meetings and setting up contract talks and stuff like that. And it kind of forced his hand where he went out there and was like, you know what, I'm going to sign with Golden State for a 1-year, $5 million minimum to win a championship and kind of stick it to people. Well, if you don't come back 100% and you don't lead them to a championship, you just wasted
your time. Like
not just your time, you wasted a lot of
DeMarcus Cousins has been known to waste himself. Like, look at his career with the Sacramento Kings. Look at this year and a half stint with the New Orleans Pelicans. The year that they did make it to the playoffs with DeMarcus Cousins roster, he did not even get to play.
That's true.
But it was really... I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I don't even know what to say. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins has been one of the biggest waste men. He's top two as far as the biggest waste man players in the NBA in our generation.
Who's the other?
Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, no.
Not as much as DeMarcus Cousins.
No.
Come on. I gotta put him in the category because look at it. Right. He missed the playoffs 4 years in a row, played for the New York Knicks. He got OKC back to the playoffs and they lost. He didn't get to play. He didn't do anything in the first round exit against the Utah Jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's asking himself out of OKC. Come on, man.
Okay, so I can never agree with that point. I think that's wildly disrespectful to Carmelo Anthony. And I'm gonna shut down your point real quick, right? If you take DeMarcus Cousins has been in the NBA for how long? 8 seasons? Okay, let's say 8. If you take DeMarcus Cousins 8 seasons in the NBA, and you took Carmelo Anthony's first 8 seasons. Carmelo Anthony went to the playoffs every single year.
Yeah, exactly.
He was in the playoffs.
And he went to the conference finals too.
Right. DeMarcus Cousins hasn't played a single playoff game. Carmelo Anthony has 3 Olympic gold medals. DeMarcus Cousins has not a gold medal appearance. And he doesn't have an Olympic team appearance. Carmelo Anthony has a college national championship. DeMarcus Cousins has nothing to show for it. You cannot put them in the same category. I agree that to an extent, Melo should have had a greater career, but he's accomplished way more in single seasons than DeMarcus Cousins has accomplished in his 8 years in the NBA. You can't call Carmelo a waste. Nah, no way.
Yeah, but he does have a bad record.
It's New York.
He does have a. Not to mention, he does have a bad record in the first round of NBA.
But he has a record in the first round.
Right.
DeMarcus Cousins hasn't been in the playoffs.
That's true.
DeMarcus Cousins is, no disrespect to Kyrie Irving, but it's kind of the same thing. He's one of these guys where we see their talent, we see how good they are, and we somehow increase their value before they even do anything. He hasn't accomplished anything. DeMarcus Cousins has not accomplished anything great in the NBA. He's accomplished good things.
All-Star.
Which is a good thing. He's accomplished good things. He's not accomplished anything great. Right. But we're looking at him like he's some all-time great player. He's not.
And not for nothing, I'm thinking.
I'm sorry, Kyrie Irving. You're not in the same category.
I gotta say this too, because if he's signing this contract, right, and owners and teams are already looking at him like he's a basket case or he's not somebody that we want on our team, even if he does win this championship and goes to free agency, I could see teams still saying like, no, we don't want you, because how do we know you're going to put 110% to this franchise? How do we know if you're going to stay here that long? How do we know if you're not just going to leave us when the going gets tough, essentially?
Right.
Because it's looking like his resiliency or lack thereof is a huge question mark at this point in time.
You're some other guy who, through Kentucky to Sacramento to New Orleans, now to Golden State, there just isn't this upswell of people sticking up for him.
Yeah.
And that says a lot. Like, at the end of the day, you should have some type of impact where you play with guys where somebody's coming to like, you know what, DeMarcus is a good guy. I mean, Eric Bledsoe is a starting point guard in the NBA. John Wall is a starting point guard in the NBA. Both those guys played with him in college. Both those guys are point guards, and neither one of them have, asked their franchises to get him on their team. That says a lot. That says a lot.
The Wizards went and got Dwight Howard before they
even thought about going to get DeMarcus Cousins. Dwight Howard, for the most part, at this point in time, is known as a pariah who hasn't made anybody or any team better, and teams are more willing to give him a look than DeMarcus Cousins. I just think, I think it's good for the Warriors. I think they did the right thing. I think it's going to help. I think it really can't hurt them too much. I just question for DeMarcus Cousins from a financial standpoint. You walked away from guaranteed money, and it seems like you did that just in spite, which is incredibly petty for a professional athlete, and you potentially cost yourself a lot of money.
And don't forget about his technical foul history.
His technical foul, his history, his temperament.
If the guy can't control himself, if the guy can't control himself when the going gets tough and when it actually matters, you get to as far as the conference finals or NBA finals. And why do we even add this guy?
And we haven't even mentioned this. He's not healthy. He's injured.
There you go.
I mentioned this. Yeah.
No, I'm not saying we're going into full detail. He's actually injured. He has a ruptured Achilles, which is a pretty significant injury for a big man. There's no guarantee. He's talking about he's being ready for training camp. I don't know him. I can't say he is or he isn't. That seems a bit aggressive. It seems extremely well ahead of the timetable. You just hope that he's healthy. You hope he can contribute. You hope that he adds to their greatness. He doesn't take away from it. And you hope that he plays well enough to secure himself another contract. And you hope that he goes on to be the good player that he shows the potential to be. It just seemed very questionable for him to make this move. It seemed risky. And again, we're just hoping that he ends up having a good career and he makes more money than $5 million.
I know it's a tiresome conversation when we're talking about black athletes and their maturation levels, but it's definitely a question for him.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're in year 8 and you just haven't seemed to get that maturity level yet.
You did the pettiest thing you possibly could.
And we only say that because, the reports that we're hearing, again, NBA reports are very sketchy. They're just made for you to click on. But it seemed that because he wasn't getting more interest from other teams, he went out there and told his agent, look at Golden State as an option, and he decided to sign there. You gotta understand, nobody's gonna rush to sign you if we don't know what your medical situation is. The teams were not gonna rush to sign you. But,
Yeah.
all the best to Marcus Cousins, man. I hope you play well. I hope you speedy recovery. I hope you get the chip you're looking for.
I hope you get the bag after.
I hope it leads you to a significant contract.
Exactly.
Get that bag after.
And you want to know something? Assuming DeMarcus Cousins does overcome these details that you just mentioned, and the Warriors are the team to beat in the NBA this season coming up, how do the 29 other teams stop this?
Nothing they can do.
There's nothing they can do. No. And I'm gonna get to that point, but it's funny how athletes have now taken control of their own destiny. Because we didn't bring this up. I'm just gonna throw it out there. You know, Paul George re-signed with the Thunder,
Exactly.
and maybe you don't realize this. He actually gave up millions of dollars to re-sign that contract. Because had he re-signed with Indiana, he'd have gotten the full supermax, a $203 or $204 million contract.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not getting that now. He's actually just getting a 4-year, 150 some odd. He actually left, I think, close to about $30 million on the table. It shows you that athletes now are more in control of what they want to do, not so much of being dangled the carrot of money, and that being able to change their opinion. It's not really working out that way. But to your point of what the other 29 teams do, like my brother said, nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing you can do.
Nothing you can do.
It's either you go out there and do your best and hope you get second or third or fourth runner up, or somehow Golden State falters and it doesn't work out. But there's no team in the NBA who, in a best of 7, is going to beat the Golden State Warriors with their own skill level. It's just not going to happen.
There's not even a combination of free agents coming up in the next few years that you could say, let's put these guys together.
No.
Exactly.
Even like
Exactly.
Kevin Durant, and I would have told you that before DeMarcus Cousins went there. Kevin Durant going to Golden State tipped them in a direction that teams just can't keep up with. You're talking about two of the 3 greatest shooters of all time, with Steph, KD, and Ray Allen being another great shooter of all time. You're talking about Klay Thompson, who's probably the 4th or 5th greatest shooter of all time. You're talking about Draymond Green, who's one of the premier defenders of his time, and you're talking about Steve Kerr as a coach who. He's seen it all. You're talking about a guy who won under Phil Jackson. He won under Greg Popovich, and then he learned from a distance Mike D'Antoni the way that the current NBA game is ran.
The Warriors are the
Good luck.
new San Antonio Spurs.
Then you have an ownership who has no problem spending money. I mean, spending money cost the Chicago Bulls their dynasty. Spending money cost Oklahoma City potential of having a dynasty. And Bob Myers and Golden State and Joe Lacob, I think that's his name, sorry.
Right.
I don't think they have no issue with that at all.
not at all. Spend it.
Spend it.
What else we going to spend on losing?
Yeah.
Want to spend on lottery picks? No, I'm good.
At least we can say that nothing that the teams are going to do in this year's free agency are going to stop the Golden State Warriors. Not even DeAndre Jordan going to the Mavs going to stop them.
No.
Not even Mario from the Orlando Magic going to the New York Knicks.
Mario Hezonja.
Mario Hezonja.
Y'all love Knicks fans not even knowing their players' names.
Yeah.
Don't come at the host like that, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
Just got here.
That's just...
I mean, if you're looking at the Eastern Conference, the only 2 teams who pose some level of threat would be the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers. Those teams come with their flaws too. We're still waiting for Kyrie Irving to do something of significance. We know he hit the shot. Nobody's taking that away from him. But he has to... Here's the thing, right? LeBron led them to the point where he can take the shot. Kyrie Irving hasn't led anybody anywhere.
Exactly.
If you followed him, you'd probably think the earth is flat. So I'd be cautious of following that guy anywhere as a leader. And then you look at Philadelphia, and this question marks all over the place. Ben Simmons has no jump shot yet.
Exactly.
He can get one. He doesn't
Put
have
on
one
1 point
yet.
in the postseason.
Exactly. And he's still...
Never heard of that.
And the fact is, he still ended up being Rookie of the Year. It should have been Devin Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, excuse me.
Yeah, I don't agree with Ben Simmons winning Rookie of the Year at all. He was not a rookie. He's been in the NBA for 2 full seasons. He did not miss the previous season due to injury. He missed the first half of the previous season due to injury, and they sat him down the second half. But he practiced with the team every single day. He was not a rookie. I mean, I understand like a Blake Griffin situation. You're injured, you miss your entire first half of the season due to injury. Or even like Julius Randle to an extent. He wasn't a rookie, but he missed his rookie season. But Ben Simmons could have played last year. They chose not to play him. That's not the same thing as a guy walking on the NBA court.
Yeah, it's the coach's fault that he didn't get to play his first.
Not fault. They chose not to play him. They made a conscious decision not to play him, but he's not a rookie. Donovan Mitchell, on the other hand, rookie.
Fresh out, neophyte.
And he carried that
won
team.
the slam dunk contest.
Yeah, he did win the slam dunk contest. And I think he has superstar potential. I think he has a great narrative. And I also want to commend the NBA or his agent or the Jazz, whoever has pushed it. He's been very visual since the NBA season ended. He's been on the NBA draft. He's been on ESPN. It's a good job of building up his brand and making him a potential superstar.
Helping the franchise out with that too.
Yeah.
Utah needed that.
Yeah, Utah needed that. You know, they didn't miss a beat. They lost Gordon Hayward, and the next year they drafted, Donovan Mitchell went back to this.
Yeah.
Should have stayed Hayward. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward, but he's in a better team now with the Boston Celtics. I mean, he didn't really get to play the whole season, but once the combo of Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving, and Al Horford comes together for the Boston Celtics next year, they can get back into the NBA Finals and position themselves for another championship to what has already been the most historic franchise in the NBA.
Yeah, they put themselves in a good situation, bro. And they have two super young talents in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and they're still sitting on 3 first rounders.
That's right.
They're sitting on the Kings, the Grizzlies protected. I think that's it. Or there might be somebody else, but
they definitely have someone else's pick up.
Somebody.
Yeah.
But it's crazy. Danny Ainge, man. Whew.
Yeah, this is just crazy. What do you guys think about the Kawhi Leonard saga?
Oh.
Do you know where he's going to go? Or is he going to stay another year?
That's a good question.
Kawhi Leonard, like, you want to talk about things you didn't see coming? No one saw this coming.
No.
I think when they... If you look at the narrative of Kawhi Leonard with the Spurs, they traded George Hill, who was a good player for Kawhi Leonard. They got him. He exceeded all expectations. He went to the NBA Finals, performed really well, got himself some Finals MVP, 2 Defensive Player of the Year awards, right? 2? Mm-hmm. He is one of the premier players in the league. You're talking about when healthy, he's easily top 3 players. Easily top 3 players. I'm talking about when he's healthy, easily top 1 or 2 best two-way players. And he's on an organization that's traditionally always had good homegrown talent. And he wakes up one day and he's like, I don't want to be here. And you're just like, no one saw this.
Especially with the Spurs at that. Who doesn't want to play for San Antonio?
It's weird.
It's weird.
It's different.
It's weird.
And he's not a free agent. Which I wonder with a lot of these guys, like, why don't you just wait till you're a free agent? You can control your own destiny. Why even put your team in this situation? I get it. You want to get out as fast as possible because you want as many years as you can play. But I think what started off as potentially a good look for him now makes him look kind of like a diva.
Yeah, that's what a lot of beat writers, a lot of reporters are saying.
It doesn't really look good on his end. It just looks like you're kind of unhappy and just moping, sour. And you didn't play. You didn't see. You know what I mean? You didn't play. You didn't sit on the bench.
Right.
It just doesn't look good.
If you use these last case examples with Kyrie Irving and Kawhi, right? Like with Kyrie Irving having this situation and just lost the finals, and it's just like, yo, I don't want to be here no more. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't know what LeBron's doing. Mm-hmm. Which kind of seemed like smoke and mirrors. I think he just didn't want to be a part of the dysfunctional franchise no matter what LeBron decided to do.
And the funny thing is, that's what ended up happening because LeBron signed with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Right. So it's like getting a step ahead. But with Kawhi, you gotta ask yourself, like, dude, this is the San Antonio Spurs franchise you're talking about here. Like, even if you guys don't go to the playoffs, even if you get dead last in the Western Conference, which is pretty much impossible for them, you get yourself some picks, some players, and you're right back on the mountaintop for the most part. You know what I mean? That's not a dysfunctional organization. So, what exactly is it that you need? And what's her name again on ESPN? Michelle Beadle? Yeah, she was even saying it too. Like, what is it that you're looking for? You know, because right now you're not speaking for yourself. You're not advocating for yourself.
Right. Like,
and that's the part that looks bad.
That's the part that looks bad. It was very evident with Kyrie Irving that he wanted to be the guy on a franchise, and that's why he wanted to leave. With other superstars, you really get a sense of feeling why they go somewhere or why they don't want to be somewhere else. We're just all up in the air, like
what is going on?
What is going on? We don't know what it is that you're looking for. That's a really good point. I think if you're just asking me, I think he sees his earning potential as a potential superstar, and he wants to be in a situation where he can be a real superstar. No disrespect to the San Antonio Spurs, but your value will never be as high in San Antonio as it can be in certain other places. Boston is one of the franchises where your value is increased. New York's one of those franchises where your value is increased. The Lakers are one of those franchises. Or better yet, I take that back. Boston is a situation like that. New York is a situation like that. California is a situation like that. Maybe another part of Texas, but not San Antonio. You really can't increase your brand and your value playing for the Spurs, maybe like he potentially wants. I mean, there was rumors that his Jordan Brand deal was not exactly very lucrative. So that might be the reason why he wants to be out.
The Spurs are not going to make the championship every year or make the playoffs every year. I mean, they have been.
Well, they made it this year without him. They went to the conference finals with him. And my thing with this generation of players is we don't have a good sense of where their minds are at. Like, is it winning? Is it money? Is it just about being the man? what is it really? There isn't a general pulse of what it is that these guys are looking for. Because if it's about winning, then you put yourself in the best winning situation. So that's DeMarcus Cousins, right? Like you go somewhere, we have a chance to win. If it's about money, then it's like Devin Booker. Again, his is a little different. This is contract extension.
I guess you could say Melo when he had the opportunity to
lead the Knicks.
Yeah, he could have gone
stayed.
to the
Right.
Bulls,
So then it's money, but you just don't know these guys.
You know who I put that onus on though? I put that on the fans a lot. Let me keep it real with you. I put that on the fans because I think if you look at LeBron's saga, right, from like the last year in Cleveland, the first go round to Miami, when you see someone in a situation where it's like everybody's coming at you for your decision and everybody's questioning your ability or like, you know, what it is you want out of your career, I think a lot of players saw that and they're thinking to themselves like, I can't have that happen to me. I can't have my legacy be tarnished no matter what it is that I'm looking for. Whether it be success in terms of money or success in terms of winning championships. I think that really set a precedent for a lot of the players moving forward. Like, if you're Kevin Durant, you're Oklahoma City, why not go to Golden State?
Right.
You want to talk bad about me in Oklahoma City when there's a whole bunch of different variables, not saying that he was justified in blaming those variables.
No, because he was also as at fault as anybody else.
Because he used the burner account to say all that. But even with that being said, I get it. I get it if you're a player. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what these teams are going to do.
Right.
They might just trade you for a second round pick out of nowhere.
Right.
They might not even give you a contract extension or anything like that. So you might as well get the bag. But I agree. They need to just curb their enthusiasm a little bit more.
Yeah, nobody knows what goes on in the NBA players' line now these days.
No, it's a bit erratic, and you have LeBron to thank for that. He instilled a level of power in them that they've all now taken full advantage of. He buried the burden for them to do just that.
Whether they deserve it or not.
Right.
But that's another point too, yeah.
But I think what all of this movement and rumors and teams and all this fluctuation in the NBA is a real testament to is just how poorly ran a lot of these franchises are. I think more so in the past 8 years. Yeah, the past 8 years. If you look at the teams who've won championships, it's been Boston, well ran. Miami, well ran. Golden State, phenomenal ran. San Antonio, well ran. Cleveland, the Lakers when they were winning, well ran. Dallas, Mark Cuban's the man, let's be honest about it. The only team that's kind of questionable is Cleveland, and let's be real, they didn't win because of ownership, they won because of LeBron.
Exactly.
Because the moment you remove them, they've been awful. You see those teams and be able to win because you see those owners putting people in place to make good basketball decisions. You see those people they put in place to make good basketball decisions, making good basketball decisions, and that trickling down to the roster. So it really starts up top. Look at the teams who don't win and look how poorly ran they are. The Knicks, the Nets prior to Sean Marks taking over the record as Brooklynites. Shout out to Sean Marks. He's done a phenomenal job.
That's right.
Turning the Nets around from the mess that was Billy King.
Thank you for getting rid of Dwight.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
What you guys think about the reasons why the Warriors were so dominant the way they were back in 2016 prior to their NBA Finals loss?
Well, even now they're so dominant. They just played in a really bad division. You know, you look at those teams. The Lakers are awful. The Kings are I take that back. The Lakers were awful then. The Kings are awful. Always have been. The Clippers aren't particularly good. The Suns are bad. You know, it's not hard to understand like why these teams win and dominate the way they do. If you have a division that's that weak, you dominate that division. It's the same reason why the Celtics and the Raptors have been able to dominate. The Sixers have been bad on purpose for so long. The Knicks have been bad by accident for so long. And the Nets have been bad as well too. So when you play those divisions, those are guaranteed sometimes 12 wins per season. It's not hard to imagine.
No higher than 12, no worse than 11.
Yeah.
That's just basically it. Speaking of the New York Knicks, what do you think about the draft picks this year with Kevin Knox?
I'll say this about Kevin Knox. He wanted to be a Knick. Like, David Fizdale said that was the difference. Like, he spoke to me, he's like, yo, I want to be on the Knicks. I want to play for you guys. So, I think that's a good start. I think he has a good platform this season with Kristaps being out potentially for the whole year or at least for a significant amount of time. And they're not good. There's no expectation. He can just kind of go out there and play naturally. David Fizdale, for all accounts, seems like he's gonna be a really good coach. He's a good fit for them, and he seems like he believes in him, which goes a long way. So I like it. Yeah. And his name is Knox, so I get to get a Knicks jersey that says Knox on the back.
See, little did Knox know we actually had enough money in this podcast budget to get a jersey for him. So
I didn't even know it was a podcast.
Yeah, we got a podcast budget, man. When we get sponsors, it's gonna be more. But that actually goes back to, you make a very interesting point in regards to buy-in for franchises. You gotta believe in your players at the end of the day. That's just the bottom line, right? Like, that is the meter for success for what you have. You think if Steph Curry got drafted to the Knicks, he'd have the same amount of buy-in in Golden State? Because I don't think so at all.
I think he would have.
The Knicks have been known to throw away players. Like, look at how many good players they just let go.
That's true, but I think had he gotten drafted in Mike D'Antoni's era, it's a different story. I think, come on, because basically it's the same thing he's doing now.
True.
But then again, is Steph able to survive those early injuries and the media scrutiny that comes with playing the Knicks that you don't have to worry about playing in Golden State?
That's right.
I mean, that's also part of it too. I mean, one of the hardest parts about playing for the Knicks is the New York media and that fan base who's just thirsty for winning. Like, as a Knicks fan, Knicks fans every season, this is our year, this is our guy, we're getting this guy, we got him, and
we're gonna go to Y.
No.
It's like, nah.
No, it's not. And then when you don't win, it's his fault. Knicks fans have so much hatred towards Carmelo Anthony. It's incredible. It's strange because they loved him when he got here, and now they hate him once he left. And it's simply for one reason: he didn't bring him a championship. But can one person bring you a championship?
Especially after you trade 6 guys to get.
They traded a whole entire rotation of players to get him. Ugh.
It's crazy. But bottom line, you gotta believe in your players, man.
Yeah.
You have to buy into your players.
Why do you think the Thunder re-signed Paul George?
Because they have belief in him. Yeah.
By the way, Paul George re-signing with the Thunder goes to show you probably shouldn't believe anything you hear in like NBA news stories. For the past year, all you've heard is Paul George is going to the Lakers. Paul George wants to be on the Lakers. Paul George will be on the Lakers. He is so far removed from the Lakers. He even said it, like, I wanted to be here in Oklahoma City. I wanted to be on the Lakers last year, but this year I want to be here. It just seems like a lot of stuff that comes out about the NBA is just clickbait at its finest.
Yeah.
It's just meant for you to click on or for you to tune in just to hear the story, but those guys have no clue what they're talking about.
Yeah,
it's
they really
do they really don't. Really
it's
don't.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, that is it with another episode of Nothing But That People Talk podcast. I'm Rafiq Lewison.
It's Marlon Luzon.
Carl Knox.
You can catch this episode on YouTube, Spotify, and all streaming platforms. My Instagram, Rafiq_Louis BK Mullen.
Instagram is bestlifelouis _ each word.
And Knox.
Yeah, I don't really use my Instagram too much, but if you want to stop by, it's citizen.king at Instagram.
And to all the big ballers out there, including the rookies, get your head in the game.